Can you hear me? Uh, okay. ठीक है जी. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to learn the most important topic, uh, that is the infectious diseases of the liver. And in the infectious diseases of the liver, the most important thing, the most important agent that is being responsible for causing the lot of the diseases or the trouble is the viruses. And most in that viruses, the hepatotropic viruses are most important. Okay. So what is the term hepatotropic viruses, or what you understand by the word hepatotropism? Hepatotropic virus. Hepa means like tissue, the structure of the liver cells. Okay, hexagonal structure, that is the hepato. It is being used here for the liver, and tropism means that the loving, the likening of the virus towards the liver cells. And it is because of just the receptors that are being there on the liver cells. So they help in the phenomena of tropism. That is the hepatotropic viruses. Let's see what are the hepatotropic viruses. There are at least five viruses which you are going to see in this presentation are the hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E viruses. We are going to see how they can damage the liver and cause the pathology. So at the end of the lecture, at that level, you should be able to define the term hepatotropic viruses, or what is the hepatotropism. List medically important hepatotropic viruses that I have told you. Five viruses, you have to know their name. Describe mode of transmission, how the person acquired the disease, and what is the stepwise pathogenesis, or in a broad sense, what is the pathogenesis? How these viruses are going to cause the pathology in the liver. List relevant laboratory based diagnostic methods. Okay, we will see throughout the presentation, we will see all these things. Okay, so Bismillah Rahman Rahim, start with the hepatitis A virus. Okay, hepatitis A virus is a member of hepatovirus in the family Picornaviridae. The term that the hepatovirus, Picornaviridae, you don't have to remember. It's just the introduction. When we introduce something, we have to tell you that what is the family, what is the genus, but at your level, you don't have to remember as such. Okay. If you remember, it is good. Okay. Other term previously used for hepatitis A virus infection includes, what are the other terms we labeled hepatitis A virus infection? It is epidemic jaundice, because it affects the large number of population at a time, and resulting yellowness of the skin or the sclera. We will see how. So they labeled that they labeled hepatitis A virus infection as epidemic jaundice, and it is being also being labeled as campaign jaundice or acute catarrhal jaundice. Okay. Hepatitis A virus, HAV, is usually a benign self-limiting condition. If we are talking about hepatitis viruses, A is being associated with acute infection. It is unable to cause chronic infection because it is being cleared off from the body. Hepatitis A has an incubation period of 2 to 6 weeks. Incubation period during which, when the virus enter into your body, and the time it takes to show sign and symptoms, the duration is known as incubation period. It is around 2 to 6 weeks. It is typically cleared by the host immune response. This is the bit of a pathophysiology, like how it is being linked with the pathophysiology. Host immune response is basically the responsible for causing the pathology, and also being able to clear that virus. So it does not establish a carrier state. The infection occurs throughout the world. Globally, it is present and endemic in countries. Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of endemic, or how it is being different from epidemic? Okay. Today I cannot. I just I have some issues in my headphone. So let's continue. Endemic in countries with poor hygiene and sanitation. So that thing that it is endemic, like certain number of individuals in a community is being infected throughout the year. That is being endemic. So it is being endemic. Why? In those countries that have poor hygiene or sanitation, so that might link to something to its transmission. So let's see. Uh, let first see its structure. It's 27 to 32 nanometer spherical particle, okay, with icosahedral symmetry. Icosahedral means it's a polyhedron of 20 same structures that are being arranged in that symmetrical fashion, containing a linear single-stranded RNA genome. You have to remember this single-stranded RNA. The genome of the hepatitis A virus is single-stranded RNA with a size of 7.5 kilobases, and it's non-enveloped. Viruses can be enveloped or viruses can be without envelope. It's a non-enveloped single-stranded virus. So these two things you have to remember, because it might be in the question that they have said single-stranded RNA genome as a non-enveloped virus. So you have to pick that thing. The genome consists of single-stranded RNA that encodes information of 11 individual proteins. The protein can be of structural protein, that is be denoted by VP1, VP2, and VP3, and non-structural protein that codes for proteases or polymerases. So the genome is divided into structural and non-structural component. Structural will be responsible for providing the capsid or the structural detail of the virus, and polymerase and protease, which are non-structural component, they will be helping the virus to replicate and also to penetrate the or get inside the cell. There are four closely related genotype of human hepatitis A virus strain and three genotype of samian strains that differ genetically from the human strain. So totally कितनी हो गई 7, and जो 4 हैं वो closely related to human है, ठीक है. There is only one major serotype. So this is the structure, that is the 27 nanometer. This is how the structural protein is being arranged in the capsid, okay. So mode of transmission, the most common mode of transmission, this is the article you can find here, published in November, the latest updated on November 4, 2019, hepatitis A virus infection in adult, epidemiology and clinical manifestation and diagnosis. According to that article, this slide has been made. The most common mode of transmission is contaminated food and water. So, like consumption of raw or undercooked shellfish, vegetables, or other food, or consumption of contaminated any food that is being contaminated with feces, that is being exposed or that is being mixed with feces that have hepatitis A virus is being result in the transmission of hepatitis A virus. Other than that, this is the most common mode. Other than that, it can be transmitted through blood, but it is a rare phenomena, and through illicit drug use or person-to-person contact. Especially, you have to remember the daycare setting. The children are getting hepatitis A mostly in the daycare setting, or some sort of sexual behavior like homosexuals, they can acquire that hepatitis A virus. But most important is fecal-oral route. That is, the feces is getting entry into the water or the food, either by the food handler, either by the consumption of the raw or undercooked food that are not being washed properly. Okay. So now we have to see what is the distribution and what is the outbreak. Hepatitis A virus infection occurs globally. Whole world is being exposed to it. Globally, an estimated 1.4 million cases occur each year. It's a large number. Hepatitis A can occur sporadically. Sporadically means the cases are here and there, and this phenomena you will find in developed countries. Okay, But in developing country where the transmission is more favorable, where the sanitary conditions are not good, or and the education level of people are not so high, the pattern you will find either the endemic pattern, the disease is there in the society with them, like endemic in nature, or in the form of epidemic, the certain sprout you will find in a seasonal pattern. Okay? Hepatitis outbreak have occurred in a variety of settings, like in community outbreaks. Due to outbreaks कैसे हो सकता है? Due to contaminated food and water. An outbreak in healthcare setting, an outbreak among homeless individuals. These are the three most important settings in which hepatitis A virus can be transmitted. So this is the epidemiology. This is the number that they are infecting the people. Epidemiology. Let's see the spread. How it is being spread. Spread rapidly because most infected individuals are contagious 10 to 14 days before symptoms occur. Okay? The most contagious period is before 10 to 14 days before symptoms occur. Symptoms can be divided into prodromal and then the disease symptoms, and then the recovery phase. We will see in the later slide. HAV is released in stool in high concentration. This is important, and it is spread by fecal-oral route. Okay? Spread in contaminated water, in food, and by dirty hands. Okay? Raw or improperly treated sewage can taint the water supply and contaminated shelter. Okay. So here you can see this is the map that has been provided online. Here you can see Pakistan in a red color. Okay? This is the location of the Pakistan. According to that geographical distribution of HIV infection, Pakistan's lie in the high prevalent area. Okay? This map is based on the prevalence, like the highly prevalent areas are being highlighted in red, and then intermediate zone, and then the low or the green zone. So Pakistan comes in the high prevalent area. Other than Pakistan, a high prevalent area are Central and South America, Africa, and Middle East. Okay. So you don't have to remember this. This is just the overview. What is the genome of the virus? It is being composed of P1, P2, and P3. P1 are the structural proteins. They are providing the capsid proteins. And then the viral replication, these structures, P2 and P3, the structures coded by this region are the non-structural protein. These protein will help in the viral replication, like the production of proteases and other enzymes like polymerases. They help in the replication of the virus. You don't have to remember this slide. Mostly in 95% of cases, hepatitis A virus infection is acute in nature. But 1% of the patient, and the 95% patient will recover, but 1% of patient have a chance to develop fulminant hepatic failure. Fulminant hepatic failure means acute hepatic failure. These are those individuals, those unfortunate individuals who will develop acute liver failure because of hepatitis A virus infection. This is an article. You can see that there's a reference of this article. Okay. And what are the certain risk factors that predispose an individual towards the acute liver failure in case of hepatitis A virus infection? Those individuals age 50 years, if they acquire hepatitis A virus infection and they have underlying liver disease, like particularly hepatitis C virus infection, the individual is already being infected with C. The liver is being in compromised state, and age is more than 50, so his immune status is also not as active as an adult competent individual. So these two criteria, when meet together, these individuals have the chance, if they get access to hepatitis A virus, that they can develop permanent hepatitis. Okay? In one study, including 163 participants from chronic hepatitis B virus and 432 participants from C virus, follow in a future, then hepatitis A superinfection occur in 27 individuals. These are because all these people are already have these diseases like B and C, so you can predict their behavior. So there are chances that the chances are high that they can acquire hepatitis A virus, and their immune system is not good to eliminate that virus rapidly, as normally in 95% of the individual who exposed to hepatitis A virus occurred. Okay? Among 17 patients with hepatitis C virus who acquired hepatitis A, fulminant or acute liver failure developed in 7 cases. So, and six of them died. Okay? So this is the significance, but you should know what is fulminant hepatitis. This is the acute failure of the liver. Liver, we know liver is a vital organ. Liver is responsible for forming lot of stuff like coagulation factors, vitamins, bile production. These all will be disturbed, and the toxic material will going to be neutralized. But if it is being compromised in a certain fashion, like acute fashion, all the things being stopped and resulting in the different sort of picture like sepsis, failure, liver failure, and encephalopathy, and patient the mortality is very high. So what you have to remember, in hepatitis A virus, there is only 1% chance, and there are certain individuals who are more prone. Who are those individuals? They that have already compromised status, like they have already been exposed, or a patient of hepatitis C virus infection, or the age is more than 50. So let's talk about something about the replication of the virus. What these viruses, hepatitis A and B, basically do, they get inside to the host cell. This is the hepatocyte. If we think this is the hepatocyte, they get inside into the cell by the process of endocytosis. They are not cytopathic as such, cytolytic as such. They get access into the cell through the process known as endocytosis. When they get inside, their capsid is being removed, and their DNA material, in case of hepatitis B, or in case of hepatitis A, their RNA material get access into the cytoplasm, and it will resulting in replication, and then making more and more viruses. Okay? Clinical isolates are difficult to grow in cell culture, okay? And they are released by exocytosis. Entered by endocytosis, released by exocytosis. So how the pathology is being produced? What is the pathophysiology? How the liver cell is being damaged when they are just entering and multiplying inside the cell, using the host machinery, host ribosome to make their own protein. This leads to exhaustion of the cell material, or the cell replication. They take over the cell replication, and ultimately the body tries to combat against that virus by mounting the innate immune system or the acquired immune system. Okay, so what happened, that innate and acquired immune system of are resulting in the pathophysiology, resulting in the inflammation, and ultimately the apoptosis of that affected or infected hepatocyte. So if someone asks you what is the pathophysiology, how hepatitis A virus is going um, to cause the pathology, it is through the immunopathology. That is our immune system resulting in inflammation, liberating interleukin 1, interleukin 6, interferon, porphyrins, that resulting in the damage of the liver cell. So till now, student, do you have any question? You can ask in a chat box. I will wait for a minute. Any questions? Like about the transmission, pathophysiology, tissue tropism. So I think if you have no questions, so let's move forward. Pathogenesis and immunity. Let's again see it. What is the pathogenesis? Hepatitis A is shed in large quantity into the stool approximately 10 days before symptoms of jaundice appear or antibodies can be detected. And what is the responsible agent for that pathophysiology? Interferon limits the viral replication. Try to limit that infection. That is the innate part of our immunity. Interferon liberated by the natural killer cells or T cells, and cytotoxic T cells are required to eliminate the infected cell. But in that process, in that activity of cytotoxic T cells, that is the CD8 positive T cells, resulting in damage to the hepatocyte. That result in the rupture of the hepatocytes and liberation of the things that are being present inside the cell that comes into the blood and causes the pathology. Okay? Antibody complement and antibody dependent cellular cytotoxicity also facilitate clearance of the virus and induction of immunopathology. Okay, so how the sign and symptoms are being produced? Because as I told you, when the hepatocytes are damaged, the things that are inside the cell that they've been being liberated and come out and go into the blood, and we know that the bilirubin, which is being present in the hepatocytes, it is being there. It is why it is being there, because RBCs have a life of 120 days. They had to be going to the phenomena of senescent, and that process, the heme component is being converted by the multiple step into the bilirubin, and that bilirubin is being conjugated in the liver. When liver is not going to conjugate that bilirubin and liver cells are damaged, they come into the blood and resulting in the yellowness of the eyes or the sclera. And the bilirubin has the eye tissue has the more elastic component, and somehow there is tropism of the bilirubin to go inside the sclera and cause yellowness of the eyes as well as the skin, especially the palms and the soles. Okay, so resulting in the yellow discoloration that called as jaundice. Other than that, the clotting factors are not being there, so chances of bleeding their infection chances भी बढ़ जाते हैं, because vitamins, different immune components, cells are being produced in the liver cell. So symptomatology is depend upon the physiology of the liver. When the normal physiological functions our liver is hampered or due to this virus, then the symptomatology will appear. And it is being associated with the immune response as well. Okay. Icterus, yellow discoloration of sclera. It is from the result from the release of the bilirubin from the injured liver cell hepatocytes, and it is most commonly seen in the symptomatic phase of the hepatitis A virus infection. Clinical syndrome क्या है? Similar to hepatitis B virus, immune mediated damage to the liver. This is the pathophysiology. How the liver is being damaged in hepatitis A virus infection? It's an immune mediated process. The innate or the acquired immunity, the cytotoxic T cell, CD8 T cell, or the innate natural killer cell, they result in the release of different kind of mediators, interleukin 1, interleukin 6, interferon, that resulting in the that will lead to the clinical manifestation like increased fever, high-grade fever, malaise, generalized weakness. That is the initial phase of the clinical period of the hepatitis A virus infected individual. Intensify for 4 to 6 days before the jaundice phase. That is the before the jaundice is prodromal phase, in which there you may find high grade fever or general malaise or fatigue. The constitutional symptoms भी कह सकते हैं इसे आप, can last up to 2 months. Initial symptoms are fever, fatigue, nausea, loss of appetite, vomiting, and abdominal pain. ठीक है. Abdominal pain. Why there is an abdominal pain? Because of the inflammation of the liver. Liver get enlarged. We know in the what are the cardinal feature of inflammation? Rubor, color, dolor, functionalasia. ठीक है, तो उसमें pain भी आ जाता है. तो जब liver enlarge होता है, that result in abdominal pain, may be accompanied by dark urine, bilirubinemia. When the liver cells are injured and the bilirubin, either the conjugated or the unconjugated, they go into the blood, then they filter through the urine, resulting in yellow coloration of urine. And why pale stool? Because the biliary system, like bile which is being produced by the liver, it is not being produced, and the function of the bile is to take the bilirubin from the liver, conjugate the bile, and it will come and stored in the gallbladder. When this is not being happening, there's no urobilinogen in the small intestine that will be converted into stercobilinogen that give color to the stool. So when this thing is not going to happen, the stool will be pale in color. Okay? And then jaundice, we know that when the bilirubin get access into the blood, it deposited in the skin and the eye, resulting in jaundice, yellow discoloration, abdominal pain, and itch. Why there is an itch? It is because of the bile acids and bile salts which are being produced in the liver. When the liver cell is injured, they also get access into the blood, and they are responsible for itching. Okay. Rarely fulminant. Acute liver failure chances are very low, as we see. Only those individuals who have certain predisposing agents, like their age is more than 50, or they are being their liver has been compromised, they are already suffering from chronic hepatitis C infection, then these individuals are prone to get acute liver failure. But the fulminant hepatic liver failure in association with hepatitis A virus, the chances are very low. So let's see further. The next virus is hepatitis B virus. Any questions, students? Any questions? You have any question till hepatitis A virus? You can ask in a chat box. Okay. No questions till now? So anybody tell me something about hepatitis B? What is the mode of transmission of hepatitis B? I don't know what is wrong. Otherwise, students are asking questions in my class, but they are not asking any question till now. Okay, we move forward to hepatitis B. This is one of the most important virus you have to remember, especially the serology of the hepatitis B virus. We will see, and you have to remember that serology because you will find it is in the exams, in your pathology exam, in your medicine exam, even in FCPS Part 1. If you are given in pathology, you will going to find that hepatitis B virus related questions. Okay? Hepatitis B virus is previously known as serum hepatitis. Spread, the mode of spread is by blood or needles or by sexual contact and perinatally, okay, from the mother to the baby. Incubation period is long, that is 3 months, after which icteric symptoms, icteric, it is being related to jaundice or yellowness, that is being the period of jaundice start insidiously, might be followed by chronic hepatitis. If we will see the course of the hepatitis B virus, mostly if an individual acquire hepatitis B virus, it will the chances that it will clear the virus is around 60 to 70%. Okay, but the level of the chances that it convert into chronic hepatitis is around 20%, 15 to 20%. So it can be the patient of hepatitis B virus can clear if its immune system is okay. He will be able to clear the infection, but and the chances of chronic hepatitis are low as compared when we see the hepatitis C virus casually associated with primary hepatocellular carcinoma. We will see how hepatitis V virus infection resulting in hepatocellular carcinoma. Circular envelope virus, Hepedna, it's belong to Hepedna viridae family. It's an envelope virus, okay? Partially double stranded. You can see this is the genome of the virus. This is the DNA virus. It's a DNA virus and the genome is partially double stranded. Around 75% of the genome is double stranded and rest of the 25% is single stranded. That will be completed when it gets access into our tissue or hepatocyte. It uses our machinery to complete and make complete circular double stranded genome. It encodes four major protein S that is being responsible for producing surface antigen. Surface antigen protein is of three types: small, medium, and large. And then C, the core protein. The core protein, these are the core protein which are present inside. That is one of the reasons why you cannot find core antigen in the serum. There is no serological marker as hepatitis B C core antigen. Okay. Then the P polymerase, it is the enzyme that is being responsible for the replication of the virus. And then X protein. What does this X means? Can anybody tell me? What does X protein do? Function of X protein. What is the function of X protein? Beta, nobody is answering any question. Why? What is the reason? Can't you hear me? Can't you see the text? No. Beta, it's being responsible it's being responsible for the cancer X protein. Okay? It's an 154 amino acid protein that is being responsible for causing or in the pathogenesis of hepatitis B virus and causing cancer. We will see how. Okay? Surface antigen. This antigen will help in the addition ना जो कि surface पे मौजूद है जबकि जो X protein है that is mostly being linked with the it's a transcriptional transactivator protein. It is being responsible for causing cancer. Okay. There are multiple genotypes, 8 genotypes, A, B, C, D, E genotypes. Okay? And there are multiple serotypes. Serotypes and genotypes are being in a combination. Okay? AYW strain, AYR, इस तरह से ये combination में होता है. सही है? So what you have to remember, आपको याद क्या रखना है? It's a DNA virus. It's a DNA virus. ठीक है, आपको ये याद रखना है. सर्कुलर होता है, डबल स्ट्रैंडेड, पार्शली डबल स्ट्रैंडेड, और जीनोम का साइज दैट यू डोंट हैव टू रिमेंबर. जस्ट the genome, the major protein that is the surface protein, core protein, polymerase and X protein. Why? क्योंकि इससे अभी हम serology को link करेंगे. It will help in the it will help you to remember the serology that is the most important in hepatitis B virus. Multiple phenotypes and serotypes are there. Hepatitis B virus infection. So, as I already told you, most 95 or 90% of the adult will able to get rid of this infection or can mount an immune reaction towards it, but only 5 to 10% go towards chronicity. This is the difference between hepatitis B and C virus. You will find the reverse in the hepatitis C virus. Okay, what are the symptoms? What are the features of the acute phase? Loss of appetite. It is just because of the liberation of different cytokines like interleukin 1, interleukin 6, human necrotic factor alpha. They are responsible for constitutional symptoms, prodromal phase symptoms, in which loss of appetite is one of them. Joint and muscle pain. Why there is in joint and muscle pain? एक तो एक overall fatigue और malaise की वजह से होता है. But in hepatitis B virus, extra hepatic manifestations are also there. ठीक है, उसकी वजह से भी हो रहा होता है. Low grade fever, incubation period is around 3 months, and 90% individual will able to clear the infection. Now towards chronicity, 10% individual will unable to clear the infection. How? Their immune system is not being so competent. So the virus has a chance to multiply and replicate itself, and resulting in chronicity. And mostly in that 10% are inactive carriers, that is with the good prognosis, but only 5% of cases out of that 10%, ठीक है, वो जाएंगे hepatocellular carcinoma की तरफ. First of all cirrhosis and then hepatocellular carcinoma. So again, in the geographical distribution, Pakistan comes in the yellow area. Okay, हाँ बेटा. नवीद अली, बेटा आप चैट में लिख के पूछ सकते हैं. व्हाट यू वांट टू आस्क? यस. Pakistan come in the yellow area. You can see that that is the intermediate zone, 2 to 7%. According to the coloring, they have shown the prevalence 2 to 7% prevalent है Pakistan में, ठीक है. And then the low prevalent area less than 2, you can see here and here the green areas. Okay, so this is just to tell you the location of Pakistan in terms of prevalence. Okay. अब आगे बढ़ते हैं. So this is the recent article, first published in 29 January 2020. That is the regional epidemiology, burden and management of hepatitis B virus. According to that, a quarter of world population or 2 billion individuals have serological evidence of past or present hepatitis B virus infection. Okay, around 2 billion individuals. That is too much. Okay, a total of 250 million people are estimated to have chronic hepatitis B virus infection. It is further estimated that 7 lakh die of hepatitis per year, with 3 lakh because of the development of hepatocellular carcinoma, the second most common cause of death from cancer. Okay, males में जो first most common cause of cancer है, that is the lung cancer. ठीक है, and the second most is the liver cancer. So you can read that article. This is you will find the updated information in that article. This is slide. This is the slide showing the genome related information. Here you can see the partially double-stranded structure in which you can see the surface antigen, okay? The core antigen and its minor component, the P, and the viral transcriptional transactivator X protein. It's an 154 amino acid protein. It is being responsible for causing cancer. This is the wider view. Basically, the genome is comprises of transactivation domain and regulatory domain. And the transactivation domain, this is the X protein further distribution. That will help you to have an understanding how this X protein causes involved in causing the dysplasia or cancer. Okay? The protein, HPX protein, have certain domains like dimerization domain. When the two X proteins are going to make connection with each other, the damaged DNA binding one protein area, the P53 binding one protein area, mitochondrial targeting area. So through these areas, this X protein is going to cause established cancer in hepatitis B virus infection. This is the physiology. It is a hepatitis B virus X protein is responsible for hampering the stability of the cell, affect the DNA repair, involve in transactivation, enhance the cellular proliferation by interacting with P53, KRAS, and similarly affecting the apoptosis or the function of the caspases and cytochrome C. So you don't have to remember that. This is the additional slide. You don't have to remember that. This is important. This is from Robbins. Acute infection. How many percent will develop chronic hepatitis in hepatitis B virus infection? Only 5 to 10%. And out of that 5 to 10%, 20 or 30% will develop cirrhosis, and only 2 to 3% will develop hepatocellular carcinoma. Okay? And other than that, subclinical kitni hoti hai? 65%. Only 25% individual out of 125 will develop acute hepatitis. They will show signs and symptoms. Okay? And out of that 25%, 99% will recover. 99% will clear the hepatitis B virus. And only 1% will go toward acute liver failure. That can result in death or required a transplantation. So this is one of the most important slides. You have to remember that. So again, this is the structure. It is the structure hepatitis B virus also being labeled as Dane particle. And this is the structure that we have already studied. Now its replication. Similarly, it get attached to the hepatocyte, get entered and capture the host ribosomal machinery where it get translated, transcribed, सारी उसकी प्रोटीन बनना शुरू हो जाती है, and then it get multiple viruses are being produced, and then they go out of the cell by exocytosis, and this phenomena will result in the replication as well as the damage to the hepatocyte. Pathogenesis and immunity, how? Hepatitis B virus can cause acute or chronic, symptomatic or asymptomatic disease determined by patient immune status. It is depend upon the immune status of the patient. Either it is showing the acute hepatitis or go towards the chronicity, either show symptomatology or remains asymptomatic. Okay. Hepatitis we found majorly in blood, most effective infection, but also effective way of transmission, but also in semen, saliva, milk, and vaginal and menstrual secretion and amniotic fluid. They are being present. The virus start replicating after 3 days of acquisition. Symptoms may not be observed to 45 days. That is the incubation period, or longer, 3 months, 150 days के बाद भी आ सकते हैं, because they are primarily the symptomatology is because of the immunopathology. यानी जब immunity आएगी, when the immune cells are going to be present there, they liberate different cytokines. Then cytokines with the immune cell are going to play the role, and then the patient is going to present different signs and symptoms like fever, malaise, fatigue, or either the jaundice because of the apoptosis or the injury to the liver cells. The material which should be present inside the hepatocyte, they get out and get access into the blood, like bile acid, bile salt resulting in itching. Similarly, bilirubin come into the blood, which blood and resulting in a deposition of the sclera of the skin, sclera of the eye and the skin, especially the palms and soul. These all are because of the immunopathology, because of the immune cell destroying the infected hepatocyte. Okay? So this is the brief overview. The host immune response is the main determinant of the outcome of infection. क्या होता है उसका outcome? Either the patient is able to recover from the infection, either the patient go towards the chronicity, either the patient show the symptomatology, or show an asymptomatic behavior. It depends upon our immune status. Innate immune mechanism protect the host during initial phase of infection, and the most important thing is the natural killer cell and the interferon gamma. A strong response by virus specific CD4 and CD8 in an interferon gamma producing cell that result in the the resolution of acute infection. ठीक है, अगर CD4 और CD8 ने properly अपना role play किया, then the patient is able to clear the virus. Hepatitis B virus generally is not directly hepatotoxic. Like it get attached to the liver cell and cause the lysis. No, that is not going to happen. It is not hepatotoxic. It get entered into the cell, into the hepatocyte by the phenomena endocytosis. That inside the cell, it get multiply and exhaust the cell machinery. That result in the injury as well as that cause of the immune cells that causes the pathology or the apoptosis or the destruction of the liver cell. Okay, epidemiology कहाँ है? You can see Pakistan in the 2 to 7% intermediate zone. In the world, 1 out of 3 individuals has been infected with hepatitis B virus infection. If you recall, we see the latest article that says 2 billion individuals are being infected. So that is 1 out of 3 individuals. Chronic hepatitis कितने में है? More than 350 million individuals. Transmission is through contaminated blood and blood products or sexual behaviors. These are the most common mode of transmission. Importance of blood screening. Before 90s, the blood is not being screened. So in that period of time, hepatitis B virus is being mostly transmitted through blood transfusion. Okay, but now because of the screening, the rate is very low, very low. Okay, 1 to 2 million deaths occur because of hepatitis B virus infection, either because of the cirrhosis, either because of the development of hepatocellular carcinoma. It is decreasing due to vaccines. There is a vaccine for hepatitis B virus, and if vaccines are being properly given, the chances of the numbers can be decreased. Clinical similar to hepatitis A virus, less symptomatic or asymptomatic in children because their immunity is not such as strong उनकी होती. अच्छा, एक चीज मैं आपको बताना भूल गई, the development of chronicity, that how many who are the individual who go towards chronicity. इसमें 2 चीजें हैं. If the person is acquired hepatitis B virus infection early in life, like from perinatal period, from mother to child, or before the age of 5, the chances of chronicity are very high. Those individuals, the chances of chronicity are high as compared to the individual who acquired the hepatitis B virus as an adult. Okay, you have to remember that thing. Long incubation period, insidious onset, prodromal, that is the initial phase period, and initial symptoms, it include fever, malaise, and anorexia. और ये क्यों हो रहा होता है? It's just because of the interaction of the immune cell with the injured hepatocyte, resulting in the release of interleukin-1, interleukin-6, and tumor necrotic factor alpha. That is being responsible for the prodromal period symptoms, followed by nausea, vomiting, abdominal discomfort, and chills. They are also being there because of the immune response. Okay? Like inflammation की वजह से हो रहा होता है. Soon thereafter, the classical yellow or icteric or jaundic symptoms appear. ठीक है, jaundice, dark urine, pale stool. मैंने आपको बता दिया है why the urine is dark and why the stool is pale. And what is jaundice? ठीक है, already told you that अगर आपको पूछना है तो आप chat box में पूछ सकते हैं. If somebody has any confusion, how the patient is developed jaundice, why the urine is dark in color, why the stools are pale, may promote hypersensitivity reaction caused by immune complex of hepatitis surface antigen and antibody. That is result in the extra hepatic manifestation that are being present with hepatitis B virus infection. These antigen antibody complexes can deposited in the synovial fluid, synovial joints, and resulting in arthritis. Similarly, they causes vasculitis. Okay? These are the extra hepatic manifestation because of the hepatitis B virus, and the main reason and the core reason is the hepatitis B surface antigen and its antibody complexes that are going to deposit into extrahepatic tissue. Any question till now? Any question? Should I move forward? Can anybody tell me what is immunopathology? Or what do you understand by the word immunopathology? Okay, let's move forward. So chronic infection, as I already told you, only 5 to 10% of the individual will develop chronic infection, and chronicity will depend upon the chances of chronic infections are high on those individuals. They acquire the infection early in life, less than 5-year age individuals, as compared to the adult. Okay? This is very important. You have to remember it. What is the fate of the acute hepatitis B virus infection? 90% it gets resolved, 1% it can convert into acute liver failure, and in rest 10% they go towards chronicity. Chronicity को आप कैसे label करते हैं? The infection should be the hepatitis B surface antigen presence for more than 6 months. If it is being there for more than 6 months, that is being shown the chronicity. In chronicity, 50% again resolve, or few of them will go towards asymptomatic carrier state, and only minor individual go towards chronic persistent infection, and chronic active individual, chronic active hepatitis individuals have a chance to develop cirrhosis, hepatocellular carcinoma, and these are the extraintestinal manifestation. The hepatitis B surface antigen and the antibody complex get deposited into the kidney, resulting in glomerulonephritis, get deposited into the vessels, going polyarteritis nodosa. So in exams, you can be asked what are the extrahepatic manifestation of hepatitis B virus infection? What is the reason? That is the immune complex being deposited there. How much individual going towards chronicity or cirrhosis? So you have to remember this thing. So most important thing, that is the serology. The initial diagnosis can be made on the basis of clinical symptoms, okay, and the presence of liver enzyme in the blood. Serology describe the course and the nature of the disease. आपको ये बताएगी serology से आपको पता लगेगा what is the course and what is the nature. So let's see. The most important marker you will find in the blood are hepatitis B core antibody, hepatitis B core surface antigen, and hepatitis B surface antibody. First of all, when the patient get hepatitis B infection in the blood, the first marker that is going to present in the blood is hepatitis B surface antigen. So let's see. If it is present in the blood, it means infection. It means infection. So presence of hepatitis B surface antigen means infection, ठीक है? And then it shows the chronic infection में भी बढ़ा हुआ होता है, और इसके अलावा hepatitis B surface antibody show the immunity that is being present. Acute infection में आपको नहीं मिलेगी. You will not find in the window period. What is the window period? It is the period in which the surface antigen is still not present. It is present in the smaller amount, so not being there, and antibodies are not being produced. Only you will find the marker that is present in the window period is the core antibodies. Core you will never find core antigen, okay, because it is inside the virus. It is not going to come out, okay. But the core antibody is going to is the first antibody that tries to fight with the hepatitis B virus. Our body is going to make the antibodies against that core antigen, and it will appear first. It is not that strong to stop the infection, but it will help you to know that there is an infection, there is an exposure. Okay, it will try its best to combat the disease, and its present show exposure. ठीक है? So आपको ये पता होना चाहिए surface antigen का क्या मतलब है. It is showing the infection. Surface antibody, if it is there, it is showing the immunity. Core antibody is showing the exposure, and in which condition these markers are present. ठीक है? इम्यूनाइजेशन, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन इम्यूनाइजेशन? आपको इम्यूनाइजेशन में सिर्फ आपको एंटीबॉडीज मिलेंगी, ठीक है। आपको अगर एंटीबॉडीज अगर आपको मिलती हैं विद कोर एंटीबॉडीज, तो इसका मतलब है कि पेशेंट को कभी इन्फेक्शन हुआ था और उसने क्लियर किया। बट इफ यू फाइंड ओनली surface antibodies, that means it is being, the individual is being immunized. So this is very important chart. So you have to remember that hepatitis surface antigen susceptible. If negative, patient is susceptible. If negative in vaccinated individual, past infection नेगेटिव हो जाता है, अक्यूट इन्फेक्शन में पॉजिटिव आता है, क्रॉनिक में पॉजिटिव आता है। सरफेस एंटीबॉडीज आपको कब मिलेंगी? व्हेन पर्सन इज बीइंग इम्यूनाइज्ड शोइंग द पास्ट इन्फेक्शन। अक्यूट में जाहिर सी बात है रिजॉल्व होगा तो आएगी, ठीक है। क्रॉनिक में नहीं मिलेगा आपको। कोर आपको कब मिलता है? पास्ट इन्फेक्शन बताता है, ठीक है। IgM पॉजिटिव अक्यूट में मिलेगा और IgG और it will retain for a longer period of time and present in the chronic infection. Again, this is another view. You have to remember that vaccines are being there, and the preventive measure is screening blood, safe sex, avoiding some lifestyle, wearing gloves in hospital. These are the things. Now we will move toward hepatitis C. Hepatitis B and A we have covered. Hepatitis C में आपको क्या याद रखना है? The major difference between hepatitis B and C virus is that hepatitis C, the element of chronicity is around 80%. The 80% will individual will develop hepatitis, who have hepatitis C infection will develop chronic hepatitis, and chances of hepatocellular carcinoma are again there with the hepatitis C virus. Hepatitis C virus की खास बात क्या है? There is no vaccine for hepatitis C virus. Why? Because the mutation rate, because its enzyme is very futile, its enzyme is very unreliable. There are in a similar individual, if the individual has mount an immune response towards that hepatitis B C virus infection, it again changes genome and again infect that same individual. So quasi species का एक concept आता है, they are highly mutagenic. तो अगर हम इसकी वैक्सीन बना भी लें तो दूसरी स्ट्रेन अपेयर हो जाती है बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स एंजाइम, जो कि काफी जो है उसमें एरर प्रोन होता है वो, ठीक है, जब वो रेप्लिकेट कर रहा होता है हेपेटाइटिस सी को। तो देयर इज नो वैक्सीन ऑफ हेपेटाइटिस सी वायरस। द एलिमेंट ऑफ क्रॉनिसिटी इज वेरी हाई इन हेपेटाइटिस सी वायरस। बस मैं अभी खत्म कर रही हूँ इन 5 मिनट्स। Hepatitis D virus क्या है? Similarly, you don't just have to remember it's an incomplete virus. It needs hepatitis B surface virus antigen to cause the disease. इसके बारे में सिर्फ आप इतना भी याद रखें तो काफ़ी है। इंक्यूबेशन पीरियड 2 to 12 वीक होता है। मोड ऑफ ट्रांसमिशन ये है कि जिनको हेपेटाइटिस बी होगा they only acquire hepatitis B virus infection, ठीक है। It can be present in co-infection, यानी hepatitis B or C occurring at the same time, or super infection, the individual is already have B and now again because of its
Hello.